A Perfect Circle. Eat the Elephant. Alright. This is the third full-length studio album. Not exactly counting Emotive, because that's kind of a covers album. However, I almost want to count that, because that really will prepare you for this record. Hell, even the Emotion EP might too. And whatever other projects they have done in the past. More so on Maynard's side with Pussifer and the Ashes Divide side of the project from Billy Howerdel. Maynard Howerdel. There you go. And it's been 16 years since they've released an album. Not well. Kind of. I mean, not near. I mean, Tool still has a longer length, I guess, in terms of time frame releasing of an album. But, which is why we still can't wait for that. But we're willing to hold over when A Perfect Circle comes around. And does it do at least that? Kind of. Sort of, I guess. Some people are liking it, but then there's a couple people in my circles that aren't digging it. One I'm not entirely sure of, because I understand if you need to take a break, Rocket Jonathan. Which is why I'm glad I saw that vid before I did this vid. So, yeah, and Zach D, I'm sorry you're disappointed, but you should have listened to... You and Rockin' with Robbie should have listened to these albums before, so you'd have been prepared for what was to come. Because that's what it would have taken for you guys. Honestly, that's what I think it would have. And if that wasn't enough for you, then you weren't probably never going to like it to begin with. Which makes me sad. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, this album, fidgety as hell and excited. Because, Perfect Circle fits in, and, 420 in and of general, except for a chance to see Super Troopers 2. I've actually heard good things. I have buddies who've seen it. You've even met one of them that I did collaboration with. Shameless plug. And, man. Oh, Maynard's considered one of my favorite vocalists, mostly because he's one of the few I could kind of do here and there, I guess. It's part of the reason why. Which may seem like I'm kind of biased about it, but really I'm more of a Tool fan than I am a Perfect Circle fan. So you could take that bias and just go away. Go away. Because this is actually not pretty good. Eat the Elephant is like, by the time the first track started, it was like, I don't know. Of course, I was already familiar with Disillusioned, and I liked it a lot more now in the context of the album. Still, the follow-up Contrarian, it's like, it's whatever. Some people say it picks up here, but I felt like it picked up a little more in Disillusioned, and then it kind of sort of loses itself with Contrarian, but I'm starting to kind of, as of repeated listens to this album, I may have listened to this about 5 times, as far as I know, on each album. So, yeah, I'd say Contrarian is alright. I think it has something to do with Trump, apparently, from what I've been hearing. But the Doomed is one that's, I guess, kind of does. In terms of the way things have been going with that lately. I mean, the Doomed is just, between that and Talk, both are the heavier sounding, and both seem to kind of have a very Judith vibe to it. And as far as I'm concerned, with Talk being more Weak and Powerless-esque in like the remix version that was for like on one of the Underworld soundtracks or something kind of way. In between that, we get So Long and Thanks for All the Fish, which was the last song I seen them promote within days before any reviews, like within a day before any reviews had come out for this album. And it's different. Like, a lot of major keys instead of minor, which is what they normally would go with. It's a very dark song, actually, despite its major key tone. And its somewhat brighter timbre. It comes with using major keys in music, but it's especially gets very apocalyptic in places, and even goes as far as to sort of mention celebrity things with some deaths of celebrities on top of just adding to the more happier tone with hip hip hooray, which some people would find cheesy as hell, and I get it, and at first it was kind of that way too, but But then, of course, following Talk Talk, which, is more definitely dealing with people who are these so-called Christians that talk the talk, but never walk the walk of Jesus' ways. The zealous Christians, so to speak, which it seems I've had issues running into that I thought wasn't zealous, but turns out he was. And me and the band don't associate with him anymore. So-called friend, huh? Huh? You don't even watch it, so it's not like it matters. Whoever you are. Which I know who you are. Anyway. Buying Down the River. Yes, that is Buying Down. That was on 36 EP? Or 39? I'm trying to remember the number name thing. But regardless of that, the following tracks are the ones where I had no clue much about, except maybe a little bit on Feathers, but Delicious, as Maynard pronunciates. Most of us say delicious, but delicious. Like, almost like he's got some Italian thing going on. Which isn't a bad thing in some cases. I know some of you people are, if you're still watching. But more than likely, you probably won't. Given tracks like The Doomed and Talk Talk, you probably won't even want to listen to this album or associate with Perfect Circle. The album cover doesn't help much either. But yes, This is definitely pretty darn good. DLB is just an instrumental thing, and it does somewhat segue pretty good into Hourglass, even though I'm kind of with that. Feathers is pretty good. It's really more by the point of the middle of the record, or at least anything that happens to be in between Eat the Elephant or Get the Lead Out. Get the Lead Out is just super trap kind of thing, and it's overly long, and it's one of those songs that they kind of dragged on too long, and I thought the way they dragged it on, there was going to be like a hidden track somewhere. No, so there was no real payoff in that regard. Of course, this is like 2018, and we all expect on a CD to get a hidden track somewhere. Kind of funny if you ask me about that, but, that's just me, because they did have, not so much with Perfect Circle. They never really did hidden tracks. Neither did Tool, I don't think. Well, except actually, Tool did with that EP. That whole Maynard's Dick, or whatever is the name of the song. Not kidding. I'm probably... Not my fault, it's the name of the song. Blame the song. Anyway. But yeah. I didn't like it first, but then after hearing it recently, I've come to enjoy it. Yeah, don't expect a lyric sheet here. It's just, this is all you're going to get in this album. Unless there is an actual album where you get the the two of them actually together side by side instead of this way. But yeah, overall, guys, I enjoyed the record. I have had it enjoyed. It's a grower for most people, I think, and it's worth repeated listens. I would definitely, if anything, prefer that you kind of start from the beginning like everyone else did, with Word of Gnomes, then to 13th Step. And definitely don't skip out on Emotive, because I feel like if you do, this will throw you for a loop. It leaves off from that, but it really leaves off from whatever ideas they were doing with Emotive, because it's literally that record, maybe with some other things here and there that maybe they haven't done, a la via, tracks like Hourglass, which, I mean, it's grown, but, and Monica LW, I don't see, yeah, there's your shout out, I don't see how, I kind of don't until you said something maybe with Muse, but the thing is, I prefer this track, because I'm kind of been used to over Madness from freaking Muse that you compared this to. I'm like, and kind of, but not really, because I don't even, I lost, after Black Hole's Revelations, the tracks that followed, I mean, I was okay with the first track for a while, but then after listening to it again after a while, I'm like, this song is not as good as it seemed at the time. It doesn't hold up as well. Any Resistance Onwards has yet to leave anything desired for me when it comes to Muse. Which, going back to A Perfect Circle, this track is, that comparison's kind of but whatever. But yes, again, overall, I enjoy this album. I more prefer this Disillusioned, The Doomed, So Long, and Thanks for All the Fish, Talk, Biting Down the River, Delicios, DLB, and kind of sort of Feathers are the more preferred tracks for me, and the other ones can be kind of hit or miss at times. Which, it's not that I didn't have that with 13th Step, though that has grown and it's gotten to the point where with the exceptions of some of the segue stuff, the actual songs overall are enjoyable on that record. But I still prefer Murder Gnomes the best. And it's where you should start, like every Perfect Circle fan had to start. Or Tool fan had to start into becoming a fan of A Perfect Circle. Either way, overall, please check this album out. If you are a fan, or a good long-term fan, but if you're one of those that kind of just checked out a little bit after 13th Step or didn't care for what Emotive offered, yeah, this ain't gonna win you over. But if you say it's a bad album, go screw yourself, because it isn't. There's far more talent in here. Hell, even at the worst points that I don't like, I get it. Hell, I'd almost, in the weirdest way with Hourglass, he compares to Muse. I almost at times compared it to them trying to pull off whatever with the vocal thing that I kind of, for Hourglass, I felt like it was more, I wouldn't have even compared it to the Muse thing, Monica. I'd have compared it to Deftones, like what Chino Moreno was doing on Deftones, with Deftones on The Elitist from White Pony, if anything, which would make more sense given, the Maynard having worked with Deftones before, and so on and so forth. And hell, I'm wondering if there was ever going to be a time where Chino Moreno would actually, get involved on a Perfect Circle record, let alone a Tool album as a feature, if Tool ever did features. ABC never did it all that much either. But it would have been cool. Alright, so overall, just, thumbs up to Horns, but I cannot say this is anywhere close to masterclass level of an album. But anyways, what did you guys think of the Perfect Circle album? Comment below, let me know about what you thought of Eat the Elephant. Also, leave a like on this. Rock that like button with thrust if you must. Also, do the same for my Facebook page, which is the link in the description for that, I believe. And as always, guys, keep it random, keep it real, keep it rocking. One more review, and album-wise. Movie-wise, I may have to delay that one. But regardless, keep it random. As always, guys, keep it random. Keep it real. Keep it rocking. I'll see you all next video. Take care, y'all.